It was obviously really disappointing personally, being able to miss that and miss the opportunity to go play in that game. But as far as the process is how it's gone since, it's been really smooth. Since the diagnosis, there's been no surprises from the morning we took the MRI to going into the surgery, coming out of the surgery, and then everything since then. There's been no surprises. They've done a really good job diagnosing what it was, how to treat it, and what are the steps going to be to get me back full strength and if not better.
Has there been a timetable when the doctors say go, you can go full blast in terms of training and lifting?
Yeah, that's probably a better question for KO or Tyler, but I would say from a personal perspective, I've taken the approach of like, let's get this right and let's do it right each step of the way, and there'll be enough time. We're all confident there'll be enough time, but in terms of am I 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks ahead, I'm not really even getting into all that with them. It's more of, is this stage we're at right now, are we doing this right? And so far we have, and every step's been really good, really smooth, and I'm happy with where I'm at.
Do you think it'll be easy to trust right away, like when you're back full go, or do you think it's going to take a couple of times out on the field?
I don't know, I've never been through it, never had this one before, but
I guess like the mental hurdle.
yeah, up until this point, it hasn't been hard to trust with the new things we've integrated. It's felt really good. So if how it's gone up till now is any indication of how it'll go in the future, I'll be pretty happy.
Brian, when we talked to Garrett a little while ago, he was saying like just going through the process leading up to free agency, how he had talked to you and like you obviously wanted to kind of remain neutral and just support him, but like now having him back, just how important is that to you personally, but also the group?
Yeah, it's huge for me personally. He's somebody I've leaned on for 4 years. The last 4 years, I've basically asked him what to do every play anyways. But he's our communicator up front. He's the guy who puts everybody in the right places. I think he's played at a really high level for a long time, and I was really happy that the team rewarded him in the way they did, because he certainly earned it and certainly deserves it, every penny. So really happy, and he's my dog, so just happy to have him back on a personal level. But yeah, it's really good for our group. It's really good for our team, and I think he'll step up as a leader not only in our line room this year, but for our whole team as well.
You gotta have somebody to beat in golf too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About an hour and 20 minutes.
Where are you playing?
Southview.
Nice. Garrett also said that he thinks the continuity that you're bringing back will kind of help this offensive line group kind of even take another step. What are the practical ways that having that familiarity with 11 out of 12 guys back will help you this year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. Starting with Ed, everybody says taking the year 1 to year 2 leap, the jump from year 1 to year 2 is the biggest, and it certainly was for me my rookie year. I felt like it was for CD. So we're hoping that that's the same for him, and even just in meetings now in the film room, when we're sitting next to each other, like we're starting to think the same way about blocks. We're like, last year was, hey, this is how I see this, and he says, okay, and we try to meet in the middle somewhere, and now we're starting to see things the same way and really understand the deeper levels of the different blocks and schemes we're running, and not only that, but having the same play caller for 2 years in a row is something that hasn't really happened around here on offense. So having that combined with all the guys back, I'm really excited. I think we're going to have a really good group.
Brian, what was the thought process like for you? I'm sure when you first hear Achilles, you kind of assume the worst when you hear it's an avulsion fracture and it's not quite as serious as that. Was there a sense of relief there? What went through your mind when you go through the whole diagnosis process?
Well, it's hard because it's immediately the morning after the Green Bay game, you're like, oh shit, like here we go, But the more I talked to the docs here, and everything that I was told here checked out with everybody outside of here that I also consulted with, everybody was aligned, and so that really helped, made me feel more comfortable. From Tyler and Uriah, Dr. Coetzee, TCO, did my surgery. The trainer I'm working with, Matt Duhamel now, everything's been really aligned and clearly communicated to me, and it's matched up from the information I received at the beginning from outside sources, just like how everybody does anytime there's a major injury. So in that place, it was more like no time to dwell on what it's going to be like. Let's just like, who cares what your situation is, like, you gotta make the most of it. So it was more like, all right, like, so what, what's next? Like, nothing you can do except get it fixed and come back as well as you can, so.